Hey everyone, thanks for learning to play games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to be playing through the brand new Cthulhu Death May Die that is currently on Kickstarter from CMON Games, and is a 1 to 5 player game that takes roughly 1 to 2 hours to play, and is a fully cooperative game where all the players are working together to complete whichever scenario they have going on. So with this one, this is currently on Kickstarter and is well over $2 million in funding right now, and they offered a free tabletop simulator version of the very first mission to let you test things out and see what you think of it. So I wanted to jump in and see what I thought of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and play through that very first scenario and see what that's all about. I've decided not to use the additional add-on pieces, the unknown monsters, as that adds a little bit of extra complexity, and I just wanted to make sure that I got everything correct the first time with the base game before really adding in a lot of that other stuff. But that is the big change to it. Other than that, the game pretty much plays exactly the same as the first Death May Die. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this one as well. I'd love to hear from you and start a conversation. And stay tuned at the end of the video. I'll also give some of my thoughts on whether or not this is one I'm going to back. So as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow and be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I drop new videos, give that notification bell a ring, and that'll let you know whenever I drop new videos, as I'm constantly dropping new stuff. And I'd love to hear from you as well in the comments down below. What other things you want me to cover, other certain games you want me to look at, or other things that you would love me to do as well. Let me know in those comments down below, and let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see how this one plays. Okay, so before moving into the game itself, let's go ahead and see what we have that we're going to be facing here. So first off, we have some cultists, as usual. They have 2 hit points, and they're going to be using 2 green dice. And then we have the Anamorpheus, and this particular one has 2 green and a black. And when attacked by an investigator with a fatigue token, you're going to reduce the wounds taken by 1, and that has 3 hit points. So a little nastier. Moving over to our other enemy groups, we have the Ghast, and these guys have 3 hit points. If attacked but not destroyed, the attacker takes a wound, so pretty nasty. And then finally we have the Unnameable. This one is going to use 3 black and a green, and cannot be wounded while there is another monster or cultist in the same space. And that little bugger has 6 hit points. Alright, and then for our Elder one, we have Segahatha. And this guy has a couple of special rules. So its stage 1 card is when an investigator gains a fatigue token, they're going to place it on the leftmost available space of their stress or wound track, blocking that space. Take a wound or stress if needed if you cannot remove a tentacle marker from the rightmost stress slot. And whenever an investigator rests, they may heal 1 less to discard 1 fatigue token from them before healing. And then finally, we have his advances. So when he advances on the track, you're going to choose Investigator to gain a fatigue token. Move each Anamorpheus 1 space towards you, and then summon 1 in the nearest gate. All right, so that's his abilities. And then we need to know what we're doing in this episode. This is the top of the morning, and Kilkenny was the site of one of the first witch trials in Western history, and one of the few to find actual witches. Now though, the cultists are using ancient energies to power their rituals. As a side effect, the spirits of the old witches have risen, and 2 of them, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name because I will butcher the heck out of it, and Alice are battling their ancient feud anew, only proving that her innocence will finally lay her spirit to rest, taking Alice along with her. Alright, so our Disrupt the Ritual is going to have 4 jurors in the town square with their innocence side up. Then, when the Elder one advances, you're going to move each juror with a guilty side up 1 space away from the town square, if possible. And then, after the ritual is disrupted, remove all juror tokens from the board. Ignore any effects that would affect juror tokens from now on. And then our 2 additional actions for this particular scenario are Gather Jurors. I can move a juror in your space up to 2 spaces away. And Convince a juror. Choose a juror in your space and make a roll. Add 1 success for each evidence you have, item, or companion. On a 4+, the juror is convinced. Turn them to their innocent side. Okay, so that is our goal with that. And I've decided not to use the unnamed monsters add-on basically because it's going to make the game a lot more complex right now. And I just want to show this new mission going up against this new Elder One before really mixing in all that extra stuff. So from there, I've chosen 3 survivors to play. My first one is Leon, and he has a special ability, the Show Off. So if there's another investigator in your space, you're going to gain a bonus die. He has Marksman and Swift, so good way to start him out. And his insecurity is Overcaring. So I have to choose at the start of the game a protected investigator. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Stella. And then my second one is Stella. So she has the chemical explosives. So when you attack, you may target one additional figure in the target space. Split the wounds as you like. She also has Arcane Mastery and Marksman, so she's quite handy. And then she has the Megalomania. So if there are no other investigators or another investigator alive that has reached a higher point in their sanity than you, heal all of your stress, otherwise you're going to take 2. And then my final investigator is Peters. He's a surgeon, and with his ability it says when you kill an enemy or heal heal 1 stress or wound on an investigator in your space, and it may be yourself. He also has brawling and swiftness, so we'll see how that works out. And then for his card, he has compulsive accumulating. And this one is each time that this is triggered, when you reach a red point, you're going to add a wound token to this card before resolving it. And then if you have fewer items and companions combined, then the number of tokens on this card takes stress equal to the difference, otherwise heal all your stress. All right, so at this point, let's move into the game. So the first thing we have to do is decide which investigator is going to start us off. So I think for this game, I'm going to go ahead and start with Leon, as he has some really nice abilities to start us off with, especially that Show Off, where he's in the same space as other investigators, and we have that ghast up there. So I think that's going to be our best bet. All right, so he gets that bonus die for that, and then let's go ahead and roll and see what we can do here. All right, so just 1. So I'm going to have to spend stress to re-roll. Okay, there's 2. I need 1 more. Let's go ahead and try to re-roll that one. Nope, and another one. Okay, sweet. All right, so I was able to pull that off. So I'm going to go ahead and eliminate him. And that was my first action. I will go ahead and rest for my second. And my third, I'll go ahead and move up here with this juror here. All right, then I have my Mythos phase, so Divine Slothfulness. Gain 1 fatigue token. Then if any investigator has 4 or more fatigue tokens, advance the Sekaha on the track as if there were 3. Okay, so nobody has that many, but I do gain 1, so I'm going to go ahead and tuck that up there, and I have to gain a fatigue. So I have to choose one, so I'm going to have to sacrifice a stress to pop that over there. All right, then I am alone, so I get a discovery card, and we have a woman in white, a ghostly woman observes the other spirits in silence. You may take 2 stress to claim the woman in white. While you have her gain 1 level in Arcane Mastery, this companion cannot be given wounds. All right, I like that, so I will go ahead and do that, and I have to take 2 stress to do so. 1, 2, and I get Arcane Mastery. So now I get to count 1 of those symbols as a success. All right, that is the end of my turn, and I have nothing else to handle at this point, as that doesn't come into effect, and there's nothing to handle at the end of the turn. So over to the next investigator to go. So Peters is going to be the next one to go, and I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, and that cultist comes down there with me. And then Peters is going to go ahead and attack. So I again get that green die because he has Brawl. And let's go ahead and give it a roll and see what happens. All right, so I got 2 successes, and that's all I needed. So that's going to take care of him. And I do have 1 tentacle, so I take 1 sanity. And then my last attack on the other cultists is 3 successes. That was really good. I'll take it. If I can highlight these things. Okay. All right, so that is going to take care of that cultist there, and this one here. All right, so then it's the end of his turn, so then it is Mythos. All right, we got some cultists going on. The Cult of Nakai. For each investigator with at least 1 fatigue token, summon a cultist in their space. All right, so unfortunately, my guy had a fatigue. So that cultist goes there, and then I do get a discovery card. And we have Town Sheriff. So he's on his way over, way over his head, but of course, so are you. You may take 2 stress to claim either the Town Sheriff or the pistol. So that would give me 1 in marksman or the pistol. I think the pistol is the better option. And I can try to get this to somebody else, as that would be really beneficial to one of the other characters that has marksman right now, as it gives them 2 rerolls, free rerolls. So I will have to try to get that over them. All right, then that is the end of the round. So again, there's nothing else to handle at this point. The Elder One doesn't advance, and nobody's on fire or anything. So moving over to Stella to start her turn. So at this point, I do have a couple cultists up there. Or she could start working on trying to get the juror over. I think it's probably better to clear out some of that stuff, though. So right now she does have marksman, which lets her shoot from 1 space away. But that's not necessarily going to help me overall. So I'm going to go 1, 2. I could go 3. I think I'm going to stop there, though. All right, so she gets her 3 dice for her attack. And she got 1 success. So let's go ahead and do this one here. There's 2. All right, so that'll take care of that cultist there. And then she has 1 action left. I'm going to go ahead and fire at that one above. Let's see if I can take that one out too. All right, so I got 1 success there, plus 1 for my Arcane Mastery. So she'll take 1 corruption or 1 sanity, and that'll take care of him. All right, so we're clearing out the cultists. All right, Mythos. Ooh. All right, so if Sekaha is on the board, each investigator takes 2 stress. For each stress they cannot take, they take a wound. If he's on the track, each investigator gains a fatigue token. Ugh. All right, and we've been very lucky so far. We've gotten 3 cards with no elder signs yet, so that's pretty lucky there. All right, so she gets 1 there. He's going to pick up a second one here, and the surgeon gets his first. Okay. All right, so that's going to end her turn, or that part, and then she gets a discovery card because, again, she's alone. And we have the Ghost of the 4th Husband. Holy moly, 4 husbands. Honest John never spoke a lie in life or death. You may claim or may take 2 stress to claim the husbands. If you cannot, gain the hexed condition. So he's going to give me, he is considered evidence. When you convince a juror, if you succeed, you turn over each juror in your space to their innocent side. Whoa! So we could literally knock them all out at once. That would be really interesting. Okay. Man. All right. That was her turn. And there's nothing else to handle at this point. Nothing at the end of the turn. So we're back over to Leon to go. I'm going to go ahead and start off by moving that juror here as my first action. Second action, I will go ahead and move there. And the third action, I could take a shot, but I think I'm going to go ahead and rest. I'm going to go ahead and wipe out both of the fatigue tokens and gain 1 stress back. And I don't think she does anything for me. That's the Arcane Mastery. All right, so Mythos. Wow, another one. I need a drink. If there are any juror tokens in town square, place one of them in the pub. Of course, I just put him in the town square, so he goes and pops over here. All right, I do get a discovery card, so let's go ahead and flip and see what we got here. So we have a Vial of Poison, a vial of sweet release for you or for them. You may take 1 wound to claim the Vial of Poison if you do not claim the hex. So if I take this, when attacking, you may discard this card before rolling to gain 2 green. Okay, so I will go ahead and take that. And I have to take a wound for that. And that is the end of his turn. And again, there's nothing at the end of the round. I've been extremely lucky with these so far. That is quite unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever played the original game with that many coming out at once. All right, over to Peter's to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start by moving a juror. And then at this point, I'm going to go ahead and move him there, and then I will trade that to give him the pistol. All right, so let's go ahead and match that up like that. All right. And I could give the poison vial. That is considered evidence. All right, so I've got 1 evidence so far. All right. I think that's it for him right now. 4th husband, okay. All right. Mythos phase. All right, there's our first one. So, Evil Incarnate. Nerdia. Each cultist and Anamorpheus moves 1 space towards you, and then you're going to summon 1 of each in those spaces. All right, so we have a cultist in blue. I have to move the other ones, so I'll handle that as well. So it moves 1 space towards me, and then I have the Anamorpheus in red up there. Okay, and that is it for that, and that is my first sign there. So then again, we have discovery card. And we found our first husband, William the Merchantman, a smiling face and a friendly word. Everyone liked him, even a witch. You may take 2 stress to claim the husband if you do not claim the hex. All right, so the husband is you have 1 free gather jurors action each turn. Okay, not too bad. And I can take the 2 stress to claim that. So that works out. All right. And then it's going to be over to Stella to go. She does have that 4th ghost, which is really handy. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get 1, 2, 3. I could go there, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to trigger it this turn. So 1, 2, 3. I can start working on some of that stuff up there because that one's pretty far away. All right, so that was her first action. Second action, she's going to go ahead and take a shot on that cultist there. And we got 2 and a corruption. I will take that, or a sanity. All right, so that'll take him out. And that was, I moved, a shot, and I could take a shot on him. I don't know if I want to risk it at this point, though. I would need 3 successes. She doesn't give me anything there. All right. Well, I'd hate to waste an action, so I'm going to go ahead and try it. I'm going to go ahead and shoot the ghast and see if I get lucky here. Not so much. Okay, so let's start off by doing that. Okay, and let's try one more. Ugh. All right, we're going to have to spend the last one and hope for the best here. Oh, so I'm going to take a wound. And he takes 2 damage. All right. That was unfortunate. Okay. That is the end of her action phase. So, Mythos. All right, so there's our second one. We have Exhaustion Hunt. Cultist furthest from the investigator with the most fatigue tokens moves to that investigator's space. If tied, choose one of the tied, and then we summon a new cultist in the yellow one. All right, so new cultist comes out here. And then do we have any cultists out right now? We do. So he's going to go into the investigator that has the most fatigue. He has 1. She has 1. And Johnny or Leon has none. So I get to choose. So I will go ahead and toss the cultist in with Peters. All right. Then I get a discovery card. All right, so we have Pot of Gold. When investigating, you may claim an evidence without taking stress or wounds, item or companion. You may discard this card to automatically succeed at convincing a juror instead of rolling. That's pretty cool. So I can get like an auto one, and if I can get these jurors together when she goes, that would really be helpful. All right, that will end the turn. So we're on to Leon to start his turn. So I might as well start off by taking care of that cultist. And yes, I got it. And I do get a sanity. All right, so that one's gone. And we would move 2 and then trigger that one to go up there as well. All right, so that is going to end my turn. So then we have a card, and this one is Unnameable. The Unnameable moves 2 spaces towards you. Any cultist in a space with it leaves and follows it. And then we summon it if it's out. So it is out right now, and it is going to move 2 spaces towards me. 1, 2. Luckily, it doesn't get to me. So then I do get a discovery card. What do we got here? We have the Bartender. I keep my shilleth under the counter, good for walking and keeping unruly patrons civil. You may claim the Bartender. At the end of your turn, if you are in the pub, take shilleth side of this card. Okay, that's pretty cool. And lets me, when you run, you may move 1 additional space. When attacking a target in your space, gain 2. At the end of your turn, if you are in the pub, I am. Take the shield side of this card. Okay, all right, that works. So I will go ahead and take that. That will make him very powerful. All right. So that is the end of his turn. At the end of the round, now all of this goes back. We gotta, come on. There we go. All right. And we'll shuffle these. All right, and then we have to handle the Elder one advancing, so he's going to advance 1. I was super lucky with that. And then when he advances, I choose 1 investigator to gain a fatigue, then move 1 space towards me, and then I summon a new one at the nearest gate. All right, so this is going to be for him, so it's going to be summoned there. This one moves up 1, and another fatigue token. So I guess I will take it since I don't have any yet. And that will end my turn. So then we're on to Peters to go. So Peters. Now we've got some trouble here. We got a lot of guys in there. Peters has the ghosts. I can do 1 free gather action. So, Oh, and then each one of the, what was that? Each juror on the town square, or is it just regardless? Forgot to check that. Move each juror with their guilty side up one space away from the town square if possible. All right, so that one's going to move that way, and then each one of these will move one away as well. All right, so I'm having a heck of a time with these jurors. They are not cooperating. All right. Question is, do I go after this one here, or do I help her up there? But then I'm have to. All right. So 1, 2 to Peters, and I'm going to go ahead and move right on through. That'll bring the cultist here. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I do have the bonus die. And wow, 2 corruption, but I got him. All right, I think I'm going to hold on to that. So I do need to maybe start gathering some stuff there. All right, so that was that. And then I think I will rest as my final action so that I can get a couple of those. Mythos card. Flip. All right, so we got the tireless devotees. Move each cultist one space towards you, and then you take 1 stress for each enemy in your space. Summon a cultist in red. I don't think we have any cultists out right now. So we got 1 up there in red, and that's it. And I don't take any stress. So again, discovery card. We have human teeth. Grisly talismans that absorb and devour harmful energies. Difficult to make, painful to harvest. You may take 1 stress to claim the human teeth. If you do not, take the hex. So I will take the human teeth. And it basically, with these guys, they nullify hex conditions if I have any or get any. Okay. That is going to end his turn, and there's nothing to do at the end of the round. So it's back over to Stella to take her turn. She's going to go ahead and try to take out that ghast now. Let's see if I get lucky here. Just need 1. That was all I needed. So the ghast has been eliminated. His wounds are gone. All right, so that was my first action. She has no things left, so I'm going to go ahead and rest for 2. Her last action, I'll go ahead and take a shot. She does get to, well, she only got 1 other success, and she did have a fatigue, which with his ability, I think he nullifies. When attacked by an investigator with a fatigue token, reduce the wounds taken by 1. So yeah, so he basically nullified that anyways. All right, so she's going to go ahead and attack him. And she got 1 success. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it as such. All right, so that way I can have a little bit of fatigue. All right, so she picks up the second one. 1 space towards you. If you have a fatigue token, it moves to your space instead. And then I summon 1 in yellow, which they're both out at this point. So he's going to, the closest one or each one? Move the nearest, okay. So he's going to move 1 space towards her. So unfortunately, I should have probably tried to finish him off. All right, and then he's going to attack as she is not alone. So we'll see what happens with this. All right, so he got 1 success, and she takes a corruption. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. All right, that's the end of her turn. And that is the end. Yep. All right. So it's going to be over to Leon to go next. So I do have the bartender. Attacking target, your space. And the pistol works regardless. It doesn't have to be ranged, it looks like, so that's cool. All right, so he is quite brutal here. I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3. That takes that guy and this guy with me. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to go after the Anamorphous first. So I'm going to get those 2 green plus those, and I am alone, so I don't get the other bonus. But he has 2 wounds on him already. Oh yeah, that's enough. All right, so that is going to bump him up by 1, and that'll take out that guy. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack again. Try to take out the nameless. All right, so that's 3 successes. How am I doing on stress? I could do the vial. Yeah. Well, does that? I think that counts as evidence too. Yeah, it does. I don't want to pop that just yet. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a stress, and I'm going to go ahead and re-roll this one here. Okay. I mean, at this point, it's probably not going to matter. There's one more. So that's 2 corruption. All right. Oh, I do get the free rerolls, so I already had those. Okay. So that counts as, that's 4 successes. Now I can pop one of these, as the pistol gave me rerolls. So let's see if I can get something else out of here. All right, let's try one more time. Nope. All right, so that was all of my stress. All right. I pick up a corruption, and that is the end of my turn. That is what, 4 on him? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. All right, so unfortunately not enough to defeat him. So he's going to get to attack me. Probably not the best thing. Cannot be wondered why. And he's rolling 3 and a 1. And then I got to do Mythos first, so let's see what we got here. All right. The nameless one moves 2 spaces towards you. Any cultist in its space. Okay, so that is the 3rd one, so we're going to have to move the elder one once he goes, and then he's going to attack me now. So he would have come out either way. And just 1. I can take 1 damage. That's not so bad. All right. And then at that point, that's the end of my turn. So then he's going to move forward 1. I think I will take the fatigue on Leon again. Take it on a wound. And then the... What was it again? I think the Amorphous moves 1 space towards you. So there's 1 here, and then a new one comes out in what? Yellow? Is it the yellow gate or is it the red gate? Nearest gate. So nearest gate is going to be up here. That actually somewhat works out in my favor. All right. Then this gets shuffled up. Okay. And that is the end of the turn. Oh, and then all of these guys move 1 way. They can't move any farther. So that will be all those. And it's going to go to him to go. So he's going to go ahead and move that juror in there. Because I got a free move action with him, with the juror. And then how am I doing over here? All right, not too bad. Okay. Goes to the first husband. And then I do have the human teeth, which is evidence as well. So I have 2 evidence, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and move over there for 2. That's my first action. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and try to convert that juror. I have 2 evidence, so I just need 2 successes to pull this off. Okay. Let's see if I can do that here. There's 1, 2. I got it. And I screwed that up, so there we go. Okay. So that juror is the first converted juror. So we'll flip him over. All right, so I'm making my way here. All right, I got 1 action remaining. So at this point, I think I'm just going to rest and regain my stress. All right, Mythos card. And we have the Anamorpheus guys again. Moves one space towards you if you have the nearest one. If you have a fatigue token, it moves to your space instead. And then I summon one, which they are out. They're both out right now. So he's going to move one space towards me as he's the closest guy. 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I get a discovery card. What do we get here? We have the Embalmed Bird. A focus of arcane energies, it wraths to life briefly and then when invoked. You may claim the Unborn Bird. You may choose not to activate your insanity. If you do, take the hex on this card. All right, so I guess I'm taking the bird. All right, so he basically lets me do a free... All right, this is not working. Okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Tabletop Simulator. All right. That is the end of his turn. We only have one card out right now, so it is over to Stella to go. So Stella... Stella's going to go ahead and take a shot onto that. I only need 2 more to take care of it. All right. I don't get any bonuses yet, so let's go ahead and see how this goes. There's 1 and 2. All right, and I will take a corruption and bump up on that. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and take marksman for her. Okay, so that will take him out. So the nameless is gone. Let's clear that stuff out. And that was her first action. Now she has 1 evidence, so she would need 3 successes to pull off those jurors. But if I get it, then I convert everybody. Well, let's give it a try. So I get a couple of shots at this. So I have 1. In this pot of gold, one investigator may claim evidence without taking a stress. Discard this card automatically to succeed. Yeah, so I might as well give it a try, and if I completely botch it, I can go ahead and pop that instead and take care of it that way. All right. All right, so I got 1. I need to convert both of these. All right, let's see. Oh, and I forgot to handle that. So if there are no other investigators alive, all right, so I think I have the highest at this point. All right, let me double check. He hasn't gone up yet. And he hasn't gone up yet. So she is the highest. So she is actually going to recover all her stress. So then I'll spend the first one to see if I can get this here. Nope. I think I'm just going to spend the pot of gold because otherwise I'm just going to blow through all of that, and I don't want to do that. All right, so that was her second action. And her third action, I'm going to go ahead and move 1 juror over there. All right, so then we have a Mythos card. And we have, is on the track, each investigator gains a fatigue. All right, and that's a non-affected card. All right, so I got to start healing Leon here. All right, she's going to take 1, and Surgeon takes 1, so he has to spend 1. So I'll go ahead and spend that. All right, and then she gets a discovery card because she is alone. She has a book of spells. Speak softly and carry a way tome. You may take 1 stress to claim the book of spells. You have 1 free reroll per turn. If you have Arcane Mastery, you have 1 free reroll per roll instead. That's pretty nice. And I do have Arcane Mastery, so that will work out very nicely. And I have to take a stress for that. All right, that is the end of my turn. And there's nothing else to handle at the end of the round at this point. So we're on to the next investigator. So that is back over to Leon. So Leon, you are all the way up here with that juror there. And I do not have the hex condition, so I'm okay there. Pistol and woman well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and rest first. I'm going to go ahead and clear 2 of these and gain 1 there. And then I'm going to go ahead and move that juror there. And got 2 coming down there, so I'm going to go there and see how that works out for me. All right. Flip. All right, so we have cultists, a cult of Nakai. For each investigator with at least 1 fatigue token, summon a cultist in their space. That's not so good. All right, so everybody has a fatigue. Unfortunately, that's 2 cultists in his space, so we have 2 green dice being rolled. All right, first cultist attacking for 2 damage. You suck. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take that to re-roll 1. All right, so only 1 damage. And then basically I can only take 1 more hit. Okay, that works. I got lucky, really lucky. That could have been a death right there. That would have been game over. All right, that is his turn. There's nothing else to handle, so we're back over to the surgeon to go. So he's going to go ahead and attack. Clear that first guy out. Well, where do I move? I get a free juror move action, so I might want to get the guilty one moving. I don't think I have any other bonuses just yet. I'm full health though. And I do get to run 1 additional space. That's a lot of enemies. I'm going to get a bonus though. The brawl. Level 1 is when you attack, you may target any number of figures in your space, splitting wounds as you like. I don't know if I want to jump in and do that though. That can be pretty detrimental. I'm going to go here. This cultist comes with, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm going to get my 4 dice. And we're going to go ahead and give those a roll for my second action here. And I got 2 successes. And a corruption. I will take that. So that's going to bump up. Cultist is gone. And I did kill him, but I'm at full at this point, so I don't think I can take a fatigue off. A wound, investigate your space, even yourself. All right, yeah, I don't know if that works or not. So I'm going to lean towards the no. All right, so then his thing triggers, so I have to put that on there, and I do get to heal all my stress, but unfortunately I haven't spent any. So no effect on that. And then I do gain an ability. And what's his thing? So instead heal the total health of the killed enemy in any combination of stress or wounds. That could be really helpful as well. Oh boy, what to take? That's a tough call there. That is really tough. I think I'm going to take that though right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and attack and see what we get. I need 3 successes out of here. And I got 3. All right, so I will take 1 there. That guy is gone, and then I get a free move with that juror there. All right, that's my turn. So then we're on over to Mythos. All right, in need of a drink. If there's any juror tokens in town square, move them to the pub. It's like they know. Place one of them. Okay, I was just making sure I didn't have to move them all. All right, he is alone, so I do get a card. So we have the ghost of the third husband. Well, we're almost there. So Richard the barrister, a man of letters who learned his last lesson too late. You may take 2 stress to claim the husband. If you do not, claim the hex condition. So he gives you, when you convince a juror, if you have another evidence, item, or companion, you have 2 free rerolls. Wow, okay. So 2 stress on that. All right. That is it for that, and we still only have 1, so that is the end of his turn. We're back over to Stella to go. All right, so I get 1 free reroll per action, and I do get 2 greens now, and so I'm going to go ahead and attack. And I do have the chemical explosive, so I get to target 1 additional target in your space and split the wounds however I want. So I could potentially get both of these guys out of here at once. Not with that. That is a absolutely terrible roll. All right, so I do get the arcane thing there. Wow, 3 corruption. Ugh. Do I really want to take all of that? Spend 1. Okay, so it doesn't really help me too much, but I can take 2 instead. Okay, and that will take care of that cultist there. I'm going to go ahead and move the juror. That's my second action. And third action, I might as well try to take out that other guy. All right. Okay, definitely got it. And this is what I could have used the last time. That would have been great. All right, so no corruption on that one. I do need to heal her. Oof. I do get a reroll, but not much else I can do with that. All right, then we're on to Mythos. Each cultist moves 1 space towards the town square, then summon 1 ghast in the nearest space with a juror. Okay, that's the first. All right, so we have no cultists right now, I don't think. Oh, no, we do. And then we summon a ghast in the nearest space to her, which would be a split between the 2. I'll stick them down here since it's tied. All right, so that is, then she gets a discovery card. And we have a ritual knife. Best not to think of the many uses this has been put to. You may take 1 wound to claim the ritual knife. That is pretty nice. I think I will do that. Book of Spells, ritual knife. Okay. That's the end of her turn. We have 2 things out there. It is back over to Leon to go. So Leon, man, we're close. We're really close. What do we do? She has the ritual knife. I could trade for that. Pistol. Woman in white. He's pretty decked out. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep what I have. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and move into the pub and attack. So I get 2 as well. He is alone, so I don't get anything else. Okay, fix that. All right, so I got 1, 2, and I do have the Arcane Mastery, so I count that as a success, and 1 corruption. All right, so that is going to bump me up. And what is this? So if your protected investigator is in your space, they heal all wounds and you heal all of your stress. Take 1 stress for each wound your protected investigator has. Okay, and I'm at max stress, so I can't take any more. All right, unfortunately, that would have been really helpful if I was up there. I could have healed her. All right. think I'll take this. That way I get the bonus all the time. That was my first action. Second action, I could try to convert. I do have evidence. A companion, pistol, that. So I have one. I have no stress. All right. So I think I'm going to rest, regain 2 health. Oh, let's do 1 health and 1 stress. I got 1 action left. At this point, do I move it? It's going over to the Peters to go next. He gets a free move action. Yeah, I need to keep moving that thing forward, as it's probably going to move away here in a minute anyways. All right. Yeah. So that is that. So we got 1 more coming up here. All right, so each cultist moves 1 space towards you, and then I summon 1 and 1. All right. So that will be the 3rd as well. So we have a cultist down here. We have one of these things up here, and this one moves towards us. And then we do have a cultist there as well, so I think, does that one move? Yeah. So we have a cultist up there, so he is going to move to her space. All right. That is that. Then I do get a discovery card. The second husband. We found all the husbands now. So Adam the Smith, a huge man of fearsome strength, brought low through sorcery. You may take 2 stress to claim the husband. All right, so that would be that. I don't think I have 2 stress to do that. I do not, unfortunately. So I have to gain the hex instead. So been hexed. All right. So from there, that is the end of the round. So then this all gets shuffled back in. I don't know if I've been doing good or not. All right, and then I think I will take the fatigue. He advances to the 3rd spot here. And then we summon 1. All right, so there's 1 space towards me. Fortunately, that leaves Stella with 2 enemies in her space again. Damn. All right, and we don't have to summon any. All right, so that will finish his turn. We are over to Peters to go. Peters is almost full health. Or he is full health. He has a little bit of stress on him. All right, so I think at this point I need to just keep working at things. So I'm going to move in here. I get to move 1 juror for free. Now that all these move. So actually I need to stay in there. Is that how it works? Is it all of them? I always forget that. Move each juror with their guilty side up 1 space away. Okay. All right, so these 2 don't move. And this one doesn't move. All right, so that one does. So I'm going to go ahead and move him in there. That's a free one. And then I took Brawl. So I have 3 actions remaining. I'll move in here and then move these 2 in there. I need to finish this off here. All right. That is all 3 actions. So Mythos. We have Ghostly Energies. Each investigator in a space with a juror takes 1 wound. I don't think anybody's in a space with a juror. Nope, they are not. So nothing there. I do get a discovery card. Herd Dog. Who's a good boy? You are. Yes, he is. If you don't have any hex condition, you may claim the Herd Dog. I don't think I do. You may gather jurors. Move 1 juror in extra space. Fortunately, I don't think that's really going to help me right now. And Richard, William, I do not have a hex token, so that is the end of his turn. And I have my first out there, so it is over to Stella to go. So Stella, Stella's going to go ahead and attack. She does not get marksman. So it's just the 3. All right. All right, so we got 3 successes. And go ahead and take out that guy. I forgot the name, but he's the one that I should go after, as I had a couple of stress that I could manage. I do get a reroll too. So I have the ritual knife, so that does count as a success as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes. So I actually get the cultist 1 point of damage too. Oh, she does have a fatigue, so no, that's going to scratch that off. Okay. All right, then she's going to attack the cultists. And that is successful as well. I do get the 1 free reroll. Why not? All right. And might as well move. All right. I think that will do it. I really need to heal her. Really, 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 really bad. Okay. And then I'm going to have to try to fix that. Okay. So that is her turn. So then we have a Mythos card. She's kind of far away from everything, so that's good. Move 1 space. If you have a fatigue token, moves to your space instead. Oh, no. All right, so it is going to attack her. All right, so it does 2 successes so far. Let's try to reroll that. I get a free reroll. And then stress. Screwed that up. Hold on a minute. All right. I got nothing else to spend at this point, so I'm going to go up. And I'm going to have to pop him, I think. Because I cannot survive otherwise. All right, and then she does go up again, so she is the highest on the track. I think I will take the Arcane Mastery. Okay. So that's the end of her turn. And it's going to be back over to Leon. He is quite the distance away from that. I do get a free 1 extra movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 into her space. And I'm going to attack that thing. So that's going to get me 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3. And I do have the Arcane Mastery, so I'm going to pick up 2 corruption or 2 sanity from that, and that will defeat him. All right. And then I do need to convince that juror. That's my second action here. I'm going to go ahead and rest, heal 1 and 2. So that's my second action. Third action, now I will try to handle a juror. So I'm going to get 3. And then I have 1. I think it's just the 1. You get a jurors or convince a juror before resolving, take a stress. So I have to take a stress for that. And then companion, item. Okay, so I still need 3 successes to pull this off. All right, so I got 1 there, 1 there. So I need to roll that again. And that'll count. I'm going to go ahead and bump those up 2 and trigger that. All right, so you also have one free reroll per roll if there's another investigator within 2 spaces. I think this is for show off. I think that's for anything. And that gives me a reroll. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna just keep working on that then. That's a pretty good ability. All right, so I do convert him over, and then because of this, if your projected investigators in your space, they heal all wounds, and you heal all of your stress. Sweet. So I get all that back, and then Stella, whoop, really needed that. Wow, she was hurting bad. All right, that is going to take care of that. So now we have Mythos. So if there are any juror tokens in the town square, place one of them in the pub. I need a drink. I think he's the... No, which one had that? I have that. All right, so unfortunately, I think that little bugger screws up my battle plan. I think he bolts on over there. So I'm going to have to go over with Peters and do that. All right, and then I do get the final card, Flask. You may take the empty flask side of this card to heal all of your stress. You may claim the flask. Okay, so I will do that. All right, that is going to end my turn. We don't have anything there to resolve. So Peters, it's his turn to go. He's going to move 1, 2. He gets to move the juror for free, and it does get to move an extra space because of the dog. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3 as well, and finish off there. That was his 2 moves, and that, yep. Okay. Mythos, we have investigator with the most evidence. Item or companions must take a hex condition side of one of them. If tied, choose one of the tied investigators. All right. And that is the 3rd, so that's going to advance him 1. I have to choose somebody to take a hex side. So I have 1 already. Pistol, woman in white. So I think he's got quite a bit too. William, you have 1 free juror, gather juror, turn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that instead. All right. So he's going to suffer that. Well, it doesn't say when that triggers. I think it does. I think that's in the rules. I think it happens during the 4th step. All right, so I handled the Mythos. There is no discovery cards to take at this point. So then it's end of round. So again, we have to handle this stuff. So these get that taking. Whoop. There we go. Shuffle that up real good. Okay. And that is going to start bringing out the god. So he's going to advance 1, but also come out. So we'll go ahead and place that there. Somebody gains a fatigue token. And I'll take it with Leon. All right. And then we have to handle his card. So with the reveal. When revealed, summon him into your space. Summon 1 into the nearest gate. Choose investigator to gain fatigue token unless they discard 1 item or condition. Your companion. Okay. And these guys get cleared as well. So go ahead and toss that off to the side. All right, and then somebody gains a fatigue. I think I can take it with, well, unless we, yeah, I think I will do that. No, I'm going to drop that one. Okay. And then I also have to bring out one of these guys. Nearest gate, is it? That was up here. Space towards you, summon one in the nearest gate, which is going to be yellow. All right. That is the end of the surgeon's turn, so we're back over to Stella to go. All right, so unfortunately she is in there with them. So she gets that. Focus spells gets me a reroll. I do get 1 green as a bonus die. I will not get the marksman ability. All right, let's go ahead and light them up. Start working on them. I got 3 actions. Maybe we can take them out of here. All right, so we've got, that's 4 successes. Gives me 1. And it's 4 wounds on him. Okay. That was her first action, second action. Didn't even need the reroll. That's good. All right, and let's go ahead and reroll that. Didn't matter. All right, and I'm maxed out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put me up 2 more. That gives him 4 more. That's that. So he's up to 8. Last action. Take him out here. There we go. All right, so I get to count all of them as successes. So that's 3, 4, 5. So that is going to defeat his stage 2. All right, stage 3. In the yellow gate, each investigator gains 1 fatigue token unless they take 2 stress. All right, so he's going to go into the yellow gate. And she cannot. Does it gain 1 fatigue or 2 fatigue? I forgot. Gain a fatigue unless they can take stress. Okay. All right. I can take 2 with him, so I'm not going to need that. I can't take it with her, so I will take 1 for her. And I cannot take it with him, so I have to take a fatigue. Okay. All right. Then it's the Mythos phase. Make sure these are shuffled really good. All right. Gain 1 fatigue token. Then if any investigator has 4 more fatigue tokens, advance. Okay, so nobody has 4 or more. We have 2 apiece, and she's going to pick up a 3rd. So I got to start trying to get rid of some of these. All right, that is going to finish that off. I don't have a discovery step, and the end of the round, we have a couple of conditions here. So that's an advance. Choose investigator to gain 1 fatigue unless they discard an item or companion. So I can go ahead and handle that. Investigator with the most fatigue takes 1 stress, 1 wound, and loses 1 sanity. If there's a tie, then we choose. That's 2. I might want to. All right. So she has the most right now, so I definitely need to. I think I have to take 1 with him, otherwise, I don't know if she could. She has full health. So I'll go ahead and drop that instead of taking that. All right. And then she digs 1 stress, 1 sanity, and she bumps up there. Oh, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. I was trying to zoom in on her card there. All right, so if there are no other investigators, she definitely has the highest, so she heals all of her stress. She gets 1. Okay. and then I get a level in something. What do I want? All right. So I could keep on working on the chemical explosives. Or I could do that. I think I'll do that. All right. That is going to end her turn. And so that's everything that we have to handle. So it's over to Leon to go now. So Leon does have the... All right, he kind of has to get stuck in at this point because he does have the bartender thing, and I do not have the marksman just yet. So I think I will do that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in there. And I think I'm going to spend the flask as well. So that's going to give me 2 green. I have 2 green because of the other thing there. And then I am within range, so I do get the extra green from that. And I'm going to go ahead and empty the flask to get my stress back. All right. So let's see what happens here. That is a lot of that. All right, so I get 2 rerolls, so I'm going to go ahead and reroll that. And this. Okay. So that's cool. Let's count 1 of those. I'm going to spend 2 to reroll both of these. Fortunately, I have a lot of those sigils. There's 1, 2. Hey, sweet. That was a good roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. Oh, and I get 1 for that too. I forgot about that. So I'm going to go ahead and re-roll that one. 7 successes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. Okay. Yep. So 7 on him. And I got 1, 2 corruption. All right. Then I'm going to go again. So I'm going to get the 2 plus that. And I get 1 more. Stop it. So I got 1 for that, 1 for this, and 2 for the stick. All right. So I just need 5 more successes to take him out. All right, so I got 2 there. Get 2 rerolls. This was something else. All right, so that was a success. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. No corruption. Wow, that's really good. And that will take him out for the second one. All right, and his third and final incantation is that you take 2 stress for each stress you take. Oh, wait. Move to the starting space. Each investigator gains 2 fatigue tokens. Any one investigator may sacrifice themselves to take wounds until dead to stop this effect. Oof. All right, so everybody's getting 2 because I think I'm okay with that for now. All right, so he's going to be there. And where was I? Everybody's going to take 2. So I'll take 1 there. I'm just going to max out my stress on her. All right, he gets 2, so I'll just take it on that. And then the surgeon. All right, I'll take 1 there, and I'll take 1 on his wounds. Okay. Okay, so from here, I think that was it for that. Take 2 stress. For each stress you cannot take a wound instead. Oof. Okay. All right, I have one action remaining, so I might as well take that guy out. Or I could just jump in there and try to hit him again. No, I don't have a free move, so just gonna try to take him out. All right, what do I get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get 1 corruption. Oop, too far. All right, so that is going to eliminate him at least. And Mythos card. All right, so no worries there. Step 3, I don't have anything, and then we are at the end of the round stuff. So we got to file on right on through here. So this one, choose investigator to gain a fatigue token unless they have an item or companion to drop. I'll go ahead and drop the flask. So I don't take that. So then step 3, investigator with the most fatigue takes a stress, a wound, and loses 1 sanity. So I have 5 with her, 4, and 4. So she's going to take a wound, and she takes a sanity. Okay, and then finally, take 2 stress. For each stress you cannot take, you take a wound instead. I can take 1, so I'm going to take 1 wound. All right. That is the end of his turn, so then it is going to bounce over to Peters to go. So Peters is going to move 2 into there, and he is going to attack. We'll see what he can do. I don't really have any bonuses or anything like that, so I'm going to get the brawl, and that's pretty much it. All right, so I'm going to get the 1 there, and then these 3. All right, let's see what we can do here. There's 1, 2. All right, so 2 damage and a corruption. I do have 1 for a reroll. I could pop. Nah. Alright, so that's 2 damage on him. I think Stella is going to hopefully be the one that finishes this off. Alright, Peters. There's 2 more. So we got 4 on him now. That's about all I can do. All right, I'm going to keep the 1 stress for that, and all right, so then it is in the Mythos. All right, we have, so the drink, so we don't have any jurors at this point, so we don't have to worry about that. And then it is going to be the big guy attacking, so he's going to get 2, 3, 4 green, and the blacks. All right, so from there we got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Let's go ahead and re-roll that. All right, so I'm going to lose quite a bit here. So I'm going to have to lose the dog, lose him, and him. So that's 3 wounds. I take 1 from that. And then I have 2 corruption. 1, 2. And I don't have that anymore. And I can't take any more stress, so it's not going to matter. For that effect, I do put 1 on there, and then I get an ability. I will just take that. I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. All right, so I handled everything there, and then it's end of round. So I might as well go ahead and drop that so I don't take a corruption or a fatigue. I do take 1 for the other one, and then I take a stress, a wound, and a sanity. And then I can take 2 stress or 2 wounds, which is everything. So I cannot take that. So unfortunately, Peters has died. All right. Over to Stella to go. She's going to move. And she's going to attack. So she gets 2 from that. She gets 1 for the top ability. And I think that's it. So I'm going to get 6 total. He's got 4 wounds on him. Book of Spells gives me 1 reroll each roll, so that's good. And do I have anything else? 1 stress for each. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that, so we're going to see what happens here. These rolls are really critical. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I get 1 reroll. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that puts him up to 10. And then I get 1 corruption, or 1 sanity. All right, final roll. This could be it. She just needs 2. And she got it. 1, 2, 3. Nice. All right, so he is gone. Kablam! And that is it. Well, I hope you found the video helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you caught anything, if I made any mistakes, and what you think of this one. Are you excited about this as well? As far as my thoughts, I had a great time with this one, and it's really interesting to see some of the minor differences. In the previous ones, I haven't played through all of the original Death May Die yet, but I haven't really seen a lot where you were able, these discovery cards were manipulated. Usually once you took them, you either discarded them or you kept them for the rest of the game, but there wasn't a lot of manipulation of them bouncing back and forth in that, which was interesting with this. And some of the Mythos cards are really nasty in this one as well. So I had a really good time with it. I'm definitely going to be backing this one, but I'd love to hear from you as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, what you're the most excited about with this new campaign, and what you're still hoping for as this one approaches the end of the campaign. I'd love to hear from you and start a conversation below. And until next time, I'll see you later.